All right, welcome back to Raising the Crates on DC Radio. We're celebrating the fourth anniversary of DC Radio. And joining us is one of DC's favorite sons, a man that I personally consider as the rightful heir to the great Marvin Gaye. It's the Love King, Mr. Raheem DeVaughn. Welcome to the Crate, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, John.
All right, now in DC and OCTFME, our family here, we love us some Raheem DeVaughn. And then I did a lot of research on you, and I see that you have earned every bit of the love from all the stuff you do at your charity, the Raheem Love and Life Foundation. When you first started, you were selling records and CDs out of the back of your car, and then I know you're everywhere in the city. You show up at all the events and you perform. Everybody loves some Raheem DeVaughn. What drives you to do all the things that you do?
Well, as far as like working hard, like I knew that nobody was going to give me anything. So I had to, anything I wanted, I had to work for it respectfully and take charge of my own destiny and my career, as an artist. So I've always been very hands-on, with my music and my career, far back as like whatever needed to be done. If I was burning CDs myself, and labeling them and that whole thing and distributing them myself at one point, fast forwarding to being on a major recording label and, finding unique ways to market and promote myself, which I started doing mixtapes. That started out of frustration being as part of this big company who had other artists. And it was so cliquish in the building, I had to just create my own buzz and so I've always been about that. Now it's about working, of course, smarter and not as harder, So it might appear that I'm still working hard, but I'm actually working a lot smarter, and being able to enjoy life and a little time and, moments with my kids and family and stuff of that nature, But I think that just hard work has always just been instilled in me, something that my mom, put in me. And I watched my mom work extremely hard. And I had a job since I was, 14, 15 years old, which kept me out of a lot of like neighborhood trouble, growing up in PG County. So I was, when and other things were going on, I was always working. So work is just something that I've always known, like just, whether I was at Giant Food or Chevy Chase Bank or, Foot Action or Tower Records, which was my last job that I had. Hard work pays off, perseverance,
I read about the Tower Records job, and I am so jealous because I would have loved to have worked in Tower Records because I spent so many hours at Tower Records. After work and the gym, I'd go to Tower Records and I'd get there about 8 o'clock and I would be there until they closed. And I would literally go through every CD in a rock and R&B section to see if I could find something new. So I'm so jealous that you worked at Tower Records. I wish I could.
Yeah, I probably was there. I worked at the one down there at GW.
Yeah, that's why I was at the whole time. So I'm sure I saw you.
Yeah, so I'm sure we crossed each other. Yeah, I was on the second.
A number of times.
The register, I was at the main register on the second floor, and then I got promoted to LP, which was loss prevention, which my job was to catch shoplifters. So that was pretty fun and adventurous at times. Cool thing is, in both cases, one thing is the stereotype of who you think steals. Stereotypically, a lot of times we get labeled as the ones,
the young us, yeah,
people that are thieves. And then the other thing is just the consumption of music and learning how people process, buy, and consume at that time, which was vital, and it showed me a lot, that I needed to see, going into that business at that time, and seeing a decline when people started to not buy music anymore. I was around, like, seeing all of that, hearing behind the scenes of the fact that, like, they're in debt, or you might not have these jobs much longer because there's this digital world that's happening, this digital space, and people didn't come in to, buy CDs anymore like they used to,
Except me.
Yeah.
Now, although you signed to Jive in 2002, you released your first album on Jive in 2005, which was the album The Love Experience. And from that album came two of your most beloved hits. First one's Guess Who Loves You More
Yes.
and You.
Yes.
What did that feel like when you finally got to release your first major album?
It's a feeling that, it's a huge accomplishment. You know what I mean? For artists at that time too, like for recording artists to do it from home and not have to leave. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it is a huge accomplishment, to be able um, to strive and, do countless showcases and have managers and get a lot of no's and then finally get a yes and to see it all the way through. There's a lot of artists that get deals and never come up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of artists that put out an album or put out one or two albums and you don't hear from them again. Or, they get the sophomore, junior, jinx. So, to fast forward to kind of look, 16, 17 years later and still be, iconic at what I do and one of the greats and I'm still getting better. Like, I mean that humbly, like I'm getting better. Like it's scary. So like,
Oh, brother, you are getting better. Trust me.
yeah, like I'm getting better as a songwriter. I'm getting better as a vocalist. I'm getting better as somebody that critiques their own work and a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not an easy thing to do and accomplish. And I guess sometimes we can take it for granted because we're living in the living in it and seeing it through our own eyes in real time. But I definitely try not to, take it for granted. And I'm thankful for every second, every minute, every day to continue to do, be able to do what I love, especially during this time and to be in demand, during a pandemic, global pandemic.
Now, you certainly did not get the sophomore jinx on your second album because that was the love behind the medley album because it brought you two Grammy nominations.
Yeah.
One for, I believe, one for a song, "Woman."
Yes.
It was in 2008, and
Yes.
one for the song "Customer" in 2009.
Yes.
And then in 2011, you got another Grammy nomination for your album, which was the Love and War masterpiece.
Yeah.
How
And that's
does
the R&B
the
album
Grammy
of the
love
year.
feel?
Yeah, that one, the one for Love and War Masterpiece, the album that came out in 2010, that was real special for me because I put a lot of work into that album, as I do on all my projects. But that was a real special project. It was a massive deluxe version of the album, had Dr. Cornel West on it, a lot of socially conscious tunes, which I enjoy making just as much as I love making records for the bedroom. And conceptually, it was just like my brainchild. I fought tooth and nail with management, the label, to put it out. There probably would be no Master Deluxe or Love and War Masterpiece album the way it is, the way it went down and the way it was delivered to the world had it not been for a conversation I had with Stevie Wonder. Shout out to him. And we had like a 2-hour conversation. I was in Miami. He called me one day out of the blue. A mutual friend or acquaintance, actually, I won't say mutual acquaintance of ours, but someone that he loved dearly that was also a tourist like myself and him, Gerald Bugsby. He was mourning the loss of Gerald. And he just called me out the blue one day, like to kind of just check in, say happy birthday, say thank you for my birthday greeting that I had given, he just called me and say happy birthday. He was thinking about me. He was like, hey, you're a tourist, right? And I was like, yeah. And we talked about Gerald and he told me about what he went through with Songs in the Key of Life, which I believe that was a double CD, right?
That was a double CD from 1977.
Yeah. So Songs in the Key of Life and what he went through, getting that out and how he walked in the label and made Barry Gordy and the entire label sit in the dark in the boardroom on the floor and listen to the entire album. So I got from that, like, whatever you need to do, stick to your guns, stick to your integrity, because the music is bigger than us and the message is bigger than us. We just a vessel for it. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
yeah. But to answer your question, like the Love and War masterpiece, to any accolades that I've been given, you know, being acknowledged by the Grammy chapter. You know, it's been great. You know, to get those calls, you can't relive those moments. You know what I mean? They're like once in a lifetime moments that you cherish and that you remember forever. My first time being nominated for a Grammy, I remember where I was. I just bought a new house. I didn't have any furniture in it. I was like sleeping on an air mattress, but I was excited because it was like, you know, I had my dream. I had a few dream cars outside at that time. You know, like the priorities change as you get older, you know. But I was just like, yeah, to get that call, and it was like, man, I just remember, you know, calling everybody after that, my mom and my dad and stuff like that, you know. So it's been a great journey, yeah, you know.
You've been a busy man over the last 16 years. You've released 9 albums and some great songs like, let me get these songs right because these songs I like. Other than the other 4 that got nominated for Grammys, so you had Believe, you had Queen, I know a crowd favorite, Mr. Midnight,
Yeah,
Bulletproof, and then my 2 favorite songs, Friday, Shut the Club Down,
yeah,
and one song that's 11 minutes long called Love uh, Control.
yeah, yeah.
I love
Lose
Love
control, yeah.
Control. Yeah,
Lose control,
it's
yeah.
Lose Control?
Yeah, lose control, yeah.
Lose Control. That's what it is, Lose Control.
Yes.
That song is the joint. When I used to DJ parties
Yeah.
around 1 a.m.,
Yeah,
I would
yeah, yeah,
slip
yeah.
that in because it would
Yeah.
start off nice and rhythmic. Then it would go to house,
Yeah.
and the kids would lose their minds.
Big
And
shout out to Kenny Dope for that.
Kenny
Yeah,
Dope, Gonzalez, right?
yeah, Kenny Dope is
Yep.
out for math work. Yes, sir.
That is the joint. Now you just released your new album called Lovesick,
Yes.
and I think there are 2 classics to come on that album. One,
Yes.
one is one I can't play on the radio called Zaddy.
Yeah.
I love
We
that song.
we working on that. We're gonna, matter of fact, that's on my bucket list to do today, to make a radio version of that. Like, just to
Please
clean
do.
it up. And
I
we'll
want to
service.
play it.
Yeah, we get it over to y'all ASAP.
And also the single "When a Man."
Yes. Sorry,
Um,
sorry about that. I think
no,
did
oh,
we
no
lose?
problem. Single "When a
Okay.
Man." Uh,
Yes.
I consider you, and I've seen you perform, especially here in the studio. And you were just a one-man hit wonder. You just turn them out, and with such control and such love for the music, it's just great to see you in concert and see how you love the music, and see how you listen to everything that's going on, and you're that works, that doesn't work. Let's do that again. Let's say it's just a wonder to see you perform.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, also, you're back on the road again now
Yeah.
because after the COVID, and you and 8 of your musical friends just did a big show. I guess you were celebrating the 50 years of Wolf Trap with a tribute to Marvin Gaye.
As well as the 50-year anniversary of the What's Going On album by Marvin Gaye. So
Exactly.
it was a double 50, you know, celebration.
What was that like being on the stage again and then singing a tribute to your idol?
Oh, it was great. I never really stopped touring strategically. You know, I did a few drive-in concerts and stuff like that when we were like deep on heavy lockdown, quarantine, which I felt safe doing. You know, jumping in a vehicle, pulling up to outside venue where people pull up in their vehicles and formed. So that was great. It gave us, quarantine gave us an opportunity to like really experiment on, you know, how we can be creative and still create revenue for ourselves as artists and companies and business minded individuals. You know what I mean? So I saw everything online from virtual gentlemen's clubs to
Whoa. Whoa, I didn't see those.
you know what I mean? So it definitely gave us opportunity to just like work and grind, so I didn't feel like rusty or anything like that in terms of I still been keeping up on my chops and practicing, rehearsing and performing and recording and all of these things. But that probably was the most nervous I've ever been in some time, performing Marvin Gaye songs in the catalog, and the expectation, the bar set so high for an audience that was coming to hear specific, we gave them some other treats too, of course, but like they were coming to hear Marvin Gaye songs. So, we want to be the best representation of that. The moment was bigger than me or any of the artists that were there. It was about the fans, the music lovers, and Marvin Gaye and the legend, the legacy of Marvin Gaye. You know what I mean? So pressure bust pipes, a little pressure, but pressure bust pipes, and mission accomplished, man. Everybody was thoroughly pleased. The city is still on fire, talking about it. When's the next one? It's morphed into some other cool things. There's been a buzz and the whispers in the air. The rumors are true. I have been recording some Marvin Gaye catalog. I can't say what it is yet.
Whoa.
Yeah, I can't give you all the particulars, but there's an album coming, involving myself and Marvin Gaye songs, and it's gonna be epic. I think it's just what the world needs, right now.
The crates is going to be all over that, because we love us some Marvin Gaye and we love some Raheem DeVaughn, and together it's going to be fantastic. Mr. Raheem, you have been a great friend to DC Radio and OCTFME over the years. And I remember 2 years ago when you performed at our second radio anniversary, you bought that house down. You turned it. And I hope we have many, many more years of collaboration.
Thank you. I do too. Yes, sir. Big shout out to the mayor, Angie Gates, the entire staff, everybody around there. To the sound people, everybody, the custodians, the janitors, whoever. Like, it's always big love over there. I miss the fact that we can't do this in person, and I'm thankful for you guys' support. And let's keep the energy going.
We thank you, sir. We appreciate it.